Good morning, everyone. I'm Max Grinnell, author and urbanologist here at the Helix Café. In today's program, we're going to explore Chicago's diverse small business climate. During the last 15 months, things have been pretty tough for a lot of these amazing bricks and mortar retailers. Today, we'll visit a pet grooming salon, a bookstore, and a number of other bricks and mortar businesses that have really held things down during this pandemic. It's going to be a great time to learn about Chicago neighborhoods and some of these amazing small businesses. Good morning, everyone. It's a bright, sunny, wonderful Thursday here at the corner of Clark and Tomei, and I'm with Caitlin Botsios of Helix. Caitlin, good morning.
Good morning.
We're so good. We've already talked so much already. We saved a little bit good stuff for the interview.
Just a little bit.
People who haven't been to this corner of the city, what is Helix all about?
Helix. So our mission really is to create a youth-driven education system, and Helix Cafe is the manifestation and learning lab and coffee cafe for everything we believe in. We want students to do whatever it is in their lives that makes them feel fulfilled and successful, whether that's being an urbanologist, a writer, being a sound person, a cameraman, but we believe that small businesses provide countless learning opportunities to students. So while we're a coffee shop, on the back end, we're using our coffee shop to teach students marketing, event planning, how to serve a good cup of coffee, but also how to have conversations, learn from one another. And then we're actually now going across the US and using our learnings here to inform project-based classroom experiences for students from rural Washington to New York.
I love that. And I was, on a personal side, my first job, growing up as a teen in Seattle, was as a barista.
That's very Seattle of you.
Thank you.
That's a deep Starbucks Seattle vibe, but I will.
Well, it's funny because I worked at an independent place in this vein, lots of hard surfaces, beautiful chairs, and I did not drink coffee until age 26, which I sometimes regret. Look, here I am, first of many.
Welcome to, I think, year one we opened, and we had, we hired 16 to 24-year-olds, and no one drank coffee. And everyone would ask, what's your coffee today? We go, and we've evolved now where now everyone drinks coffee, and so and we can talk about flavors and
it's like water, and it contains water.
It contains water. Brown water,
brown water
with better flavors, and we use local roasters here, so we use half-wet, and we use a lot of suppliers. We're actually using Freeman House Chai right now, which is amazing. They're based on the Soul Cafe, and are incredible. Then we just changed that post-COVID pandemic, but yeah, we try and figure out what is it you actually like to taste, and how can we find you a drink that satisfies that in your life.
That is fantastic. I love that. And you mentioned all the young people come here to work. How do you locate them?
So I feel like a lot of people are like, young people don't want anything like that. We get a lot of young people are lazy. We've never had problems finding young people at all. If anything,
great staff.
We are consistently overwhelmed. We do an internship program 3 times a year, and we work with After School Matters on that, but we consistently have 300 students apply for 10 spots. And so I think if anything, it continues to validate we need neighborhood experiences for youth across the city, and we want to be that here and then work with others to create that experience, whether you're a small business, organization, program, school, whatever that thing is that you do.
That's wonderful. And I remember coming to a couple of your live events pre-pandemic. How have you all, as they say, shifted to that during this?
Yes, so
all of this.
We were closed for a while. We actually closed right before the shutdown because we worked with students and we were like, ugh, what's happening? And then we just reopened in July 2021. We shifted to a lot of online things, and then we really built out the education curriculum side. So we actually continued to have interns. Right after the shutdown, our interns investigated what is it like for a business to close randomly based on a pandemic? Has this ever happened?
Perfect.
So we had high schoolers looking, and they picked a business they were interested in and thought about I know you're at some point going to dog grooming. A person picked a dog grooming place and was like,
it's our next stop, literally.
How does that person adjust? What does federal aid look like for them? How would they make a decision as a business owner? And really dove into that.
And they're learning a lot about not just the world around them, but specifically public policy in neighborhoods with small bricks and mortar businesses.
Yes, and I think we hear a lot at the federal level, and then we're like, but what is happening actually on my block? What is the neighborhood opportunity fund? What exists? Why, how
And it's so immediate and visceral.
Yes.
That's
and
fabulous.
so we talked a lot about, PPP and like EIDL loans and like, what is that? And we didn't know. So it was like we were learning alongside them. And I think a lot of that is, taking expertise as adults and things we've learned, but then allowing students to take risks and learn alongside us with facilitation and guidance.
Great form of empowerment too, I think, building that up.
That's the hope.
Can you tell us a little bit about the wonderful art on the walls?
Yes, so we are always trying to work with youth and youth educators to have youth artwork in our space. We worked with a teacher/gallery owner, Blank House in Logan Square. Their owner, she is a art teacher actually in Rogers Park. We worked on like an entrepreneurship and art unit where her students created art pieces for a coffee shop. They learned about audiences, like what did they think would fit in the space, and then they priced their items, and we did an art show along with then sold pieces for students.
Wonderful. A couple of years ago, pre-pandemic, I purchased a stylized Chicago skyline done by a student at, and I'm blanking on the name of the high school.
It was actually, no, it's the Acero School in Rogers Park.
Yes.
Cruise. I'm like now glad. Like,
You got
what
it.
is there? I was like, it's right on Ridge, and I'm like, what?
You pulled it out of there.
There we go.
I love it. Yeah, and it's a wonderful, in a place of prominence.
Good.
And it is really fantastic. Friends, next we're going to head on over to Hyde Park to talk to the owner of Bark and Bubbles. Hi everybody, I'm here with Malia of Bark and Bubbles Doggy Day Spa in Hyde Park. Malia, good morning. Thank you for talking with us.
No problem. Thank you guys for coming.
Oh, we're glad to be here. Could you tell us a little bit about how the business started?
So the business started about last year in August. My boss, Jakina Young, her son, in fact, actually had the idea to open up a doggy spa. And so she finally found the place, and then in August we opened up, and we've been open ever since.
Well, that's fantastic. What type of services, I haven't been to one of these facilities in a while, what type of services do you provide here?
So we provide bathing services and grooming services, and we also have self-service where you can come in and wash your dog. With bathing services, we usually include, we will wash the dog, and we'll include a free nail trim or teeth cleaning. And then with professional grooms, you get a bath, a cut, nails trimmed, teeth cleaning, ears plugged, anal glands expressed, and ears cleaned and ears plugged.
That is an impressive slate of services. Kind of a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So are people, a lot of more people, since they've been working from home, are more people asking for their dogs to be walked, or has that kind of been changes during the pandemic?
To be walked, well, since we're not a dog walking services just yet, we don't have that service just yet. A lot of people have requested it, but we had to turn them down and tell them we don't have it just yet.
That makes sense. Now, I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you have a favorite type of dog or a dog that always speaks to you?
Red-nosed pit bull.
Red-nosed pit bull. I don't know if I've ever encountered a red-nosed pit bull.
Really? I'm pretty sure you probably have. You probably just never paid attention.
So it's one of your favorite dogs.
Yeah, they're really sweet, and I feel so bad for the reputation that they have, but I love them. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask a rookie question here. Easier to bathe a large dog or a small dog?
It really depends on the dog. For some dogs, their temperaments are really bad, and even with the small dogs, they won't let you bathe them. And then for large dogs, they'll just be chill and they'll let you do your job.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, thank you for spending a little bit of time with us today. And friends, the pandemic has been really tough for a lot of small businesses, so come on down, talk to Malia, one of the other awesome people here at Bark and Bubbles Doggy Day Spa. Thanks, Malia.
No problem. Thank you. Have a good one.
Take care.
You too.
Friends, next we're heading over to South Shore to talk with the Chamber of Commerce and other business partners to see how they're assisting small businesses during the pandemic. Friends, I'm here on 71st Street. We're just about to meet with the folks at the South Shore Chamber of Commerce to talk a little bit about how they've been working with small businesses in the community. Hi friends, we're here with Jakina Hill of the South Shore Chamber of Commerce. Jakina, thanks for coming and sitting down and talking with us about what the Chamber has been doing.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Max.
Oh, we're so glad you're here. Tell us a little bit, pandemic's been tough for a lot of bricks and mortar business. What has the Chamber been doing to kind of assist folks in the South Shore area?
Yeah, well, I've only been here since February, so the pandemic was well underway when I came in, but as far as I know, it's been a lot of help with the businesses in terms of like financial needs, so helping with processing PPP applications, and we're actually in the process of the forgiveness aspect of the application now. There's still a lot of grants and things available and stuff that's rolling out even more to this day, like the Back to Business grant. It was something that just opened on August 18th and that closes October 11th, so we're still helping people navigate the process of like accessing these funds and keeping business going and the changing rules and whether they need to do shut down space, like all of that stuff. So just the main thing is funds, and that's what we're helping with now.
Yeah, and that's, as you suggest, that's so vital to making sure some of those bricks and mortar businesses will be here over the coming months and years.
Yeah, we've had a few to close and not come back. There is one great business, the Pink Giraffe. It's like a gallery, a studio thing, and she's closed now, but she's also like on top of the pandemic, had personal issues and just trying to bounce back, but she's finally going to be reopening in the area.
Wonderful.
So we're really excited about that, having people have the opportunity to do paint and sips in South Shore. That's something you usually have to go out of your neighborhood for, but Erica Ferguson, who owns that establishment, is bringing that back to the community, so we're really excited about that.
Wonderful. And for folks who may not have heard of paint and sips before, could you say a little bit more about that?
Oh yeah, it's just like a group of friends will get together and go to a space like Erica's gallery and get a blank canvas and just kind of be a walk through like a still life, getting taught how to like paint a certain thing, and then they have wine. And so it's just like it's a nice social, like if you don't want to party, if you kind of aged out of that phase and now you want to chill while you drink, then this is the good thing to do for that. And take in some art.
You can sip and chill and make art.
Yeah.
I love it. That sounds great. And kudos to Erica. Looking forward to taking a look at her establishment as well. That's wonderful. And you also mentioned, as we were talking about before camera started rolling, about allowing more businesses to have space for dining outside.
Yeah, so we're actually participating in the Alfresco program. Ours is going to be a little bit different because, as you know, at South Shore, like 71st Street, where we're located, is a main corridor in the area, and we have the metro running right through the middle of the street. So we don't have as wide of a sidewalk space as like maybe Lakeview and like lots of other areas that have outdoor dining. So we're activating a lot. It's on 71st or 70th and Jeffrey, kind of like between 70 and 71st. It's just like a parking lot across the street from. Well, I guess it used to be an old bank building or whatever, but it's a part of that building, and the owner is allowing us the use of the lot we're gonna put up a stage. We want to do like skating, and then our activation as far as with the dining is gonna be a little different because we're having like delivery. So we have like the Slab restaurant up the street. We have Italian Fiesta, Taste of Chicago, a lot of restaurants on 71st, and what a lot of these people will be able to do is order their food at the lot, and someone will like just walk it over to them. So that's going to be our like activation, which is really cool. And then there'll be other little things for the children, like games and stuff like that. So we're in the process of planning that now, which is a lot of work. And we had to figure out something new to do to access that Alfresco program.
Wonderful. And it seems like, as you talk about those kind of public place improvements, bringing people together for food, for conversation, you meet your neighbors, and also engage in some fun activities.
Yeah, we're still helping the businesses to continue too, because again, they can't like have too much inside dining and everything, and everyone still wants to like take advantage of whatever the summer we have left. You know how Chicago is in the summertime. It's so you maximize summertime Chicago, like, and especially after the winter we just came out of. Yeah, so until the nights start getting shorter and the first, snow, or if it's too, like, you have to bundle up really, like, we're gonna be outside. So we're happy to have that space going, and that's actually only gonna be until like mid-October, so like right before it starts getting cold. Like Halloween likes to sneak up and be really cold for us, so we're gonna clear that out before the cold.
That sounds fantastic. Friends, you're going to want to come take the train from the Loop, drive, get on your bike, take the bus down here.
Yeah.
Friends, good afternoon. During the pandemic, hundreds of small businesses around Chicago have closed for good. It's been a difficult and trying time. We are also fortunate that in the city, a number of small businesses have been able to emerge and be important catalysts for change within their community. I'm at one right now, the MCM Protein Bar, and I'm in front of some of their amazing food items. First, you have Japanese-style banana Nutella crepes, a protein donut, some of their fine beet juice, and finally, their overnight oats. Today, we're going to have a chance to hear from the owners of MCM Protein Bar and hear about how their work and business is transforming this corner of South Laughlin Street. Friends, good afternoon. We are here at the MCM Protein Bar. We're so glad to be here and celebrate your wonderful small business. If you could each introduce yourselves, that'd be lovely.
My name is Aranda. I'm one of the owners of MCM Protein Bar.
My name is Arasele Aranda, and I'm one of the owners of Protein Bar.
My name is Marlen Villordo, and I am one of the owners at MCM Protein Bar.
Thank you. We're so honored to be here and celebrate all the amazing work that you have done. And tell us a little bit about opening during the pandemic.
Thank you. Well, first, we want to thank you for having the time and interview us as a team. So a little about us. MCM Protein Bar stands for My Community Matters. We are a small local coffee shop here next to our Pilsen area. We realized that as close people that live near from this neighborhood don't have a coffee shop near, and we thought the best way to provide a new perspective in eating with having protein is having a coffee shop that will help a lot of people benefit a better way on eating healthy. And with that, we came up as a team and worked together with recipes as well as ways to negotiate new ideas to bring into the neighborhood, such as providing Wi-Fi for students so they can have a close protein shop, especially with Benito Juarez right next to us. We realized that sooner or later the time slot is going to change, and during the pandemic, students were used to being just at home, and we wanted to provide a new place like the show France, a cozy place where they can come and do their work while still being at home around the Pilsen area, but we're far away from home, but feeling at home, at heart. And we thought the best thing that to provide is to have a safe place. Not only do we have some amazing options in our meal. We have over 60 items that include crepes, waffles, acai-bowls, protein donuts, cheesecakes, organic juices, as you name it. But yeah, those are small little things that MCM stands for.
That's really fantastic. And I think you speak so eloquently to that power of places that aren't home, that aren't school, where people can kind of come and gather. And I think that's really, really important. Now, I have to ask each one of you, if you want to go and tell us, what's one of your favorite items? Maybe start with you, Monica. What's one of your, if we're coming to MCM Protein Bar for the first time, what's something we should have?
I personally love I think that's a hard question to be honest. Let me pick one thing I can bite and one thing I can drink.
Wonderful, perfect, I love it.
I will pick Gains, which is one of our popular shakes in here. It has the most protein on it, but I think the most amazing thing about Gains, you get to pick your own toppings on that. Plus, you also get to choose your own protein powder, which is the one that makes it very unique in here. And I guess for food-wise, I also the chicken chipotle is my favorite one. I love the spicy spot on that. I know a lot of people love it, and it's just when you take a bite and you taste that chicken chipotle, it's like the commercial on TV. You know, you're like, oh, it's so good.
That's a pretty strong endorsement. Let's continue. What would you say? Either food or drink, or both?
To me, both. As her, one thing is that I started watching like after every of my trainings, I was all the time, now what I want to eat. That's a huge question to me. And I want to gain muscle, my legs, and where it has to be. and we want clean protein. There's another thing. And we, like her, one of my favorites to me is chocolate Gains shake, protein shake. Everything here of our shakes are based on protein. So that's one of my favorites, and with some little bit of whipped cream and chocolate chips.
Wonderful.
Yes, and
that sounds good.
And to eat, I prefer as her. I love chicken chipotles. Actually, one of the most the one we sell in here, because we like it spicy. We are like in Mexican, we like spicy things, and that's the most tasty one to me.
Wonderful, thank you. Now I know Chipotle has been mentioned already, so you might have to tell us another one.
Yeah,
unless you're sticking with Chipotle.
So, well, let's take it out of the Chipotle grape. But I like Pilsen breakfast, which is made out of spinach and turkey bacon and honey Dijon mustard and mozzarella cheese. So it's more like an English breakfast.
Yeah,
but
sure.
We call it we name it as
I like it.
Pilsen breakfast.
Pilsen
Right.
breakfast. And what about for a drink?
Well, because I'm full Mexican from my heart, from the bottom of my heart, so I prefer arroz con leche, which is a protein shake, and it tastes like arroz con leche, but it's a protein shake. So it's my favorite. I drink it every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's another fantastic endorsement for that amazing products. Friends, next we're heading up to Semicolon. Afternoon, everyone. We are here with Danny.
Hey, y'all.
Of Semicolon Books. Danny, thank you for taking time. Tell us a little bit about the backstory behind Semicolon.
Let me tell y'all, Semicolon was not supposed to exist. We were not supposed to exist. I work as a curator. I was walking by this space and it had a for rent sign on the door. I had zero plans. I was not supposed to be renting a space. And I stopped and I called the number on there, and the guy was like, I can be there in 30 minutes. And I'm like, great. Again, no plans. And he gets here and the space is awful. It did not look like this. It was a horrible space, but he's like, you can take it today if you want. And I was like, I'm gonna take it. Again, no plans. And that's how it goes. So I took it and I got home and I told my partner about it, and she's like, this is a bad idea. We didn't budget for this. We don't have any money for this. What are you doing? But she would get off work. She owns an engineering firm, and she would get off work at 6 o'clock, and she would be here with me, knocking down walls, building shelves until midnight every single night. And then we decided, well, what do I love? I love books. I love graffiti art. So I called on some of my friends who are graffiti artists, and I figured out how to order some books on credit because we didn't have any money, and thereby came Semicolon. We were created just because I wanted a place where I wanted to hang out. And it was a place that I didn't feel uncomfortable. When everybody walks through these doors, you instantly feel comfortable, and that's purposely done. We don't ask you to check your bag or do any of that. Like, just come in and sit down and have fun. And somehow we're still open. We don't have a business plan. We don't have anything. We just want to sell books and help the community.
I mean, that's right to the point. I love it. I love it.
It seems to be doing all right. We're 2.5 years in, so let's see where we go from here.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, you're also in the process of moving to Westtown.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are, and it's horrible. But it's great because we're gonna have more space equals more community. More space equals more new book friends. You know, we love talking about every kind of book. And if you want to sit in there and talk with us for 6 hours about one book, we'll do it because that's what we do. We get paid to do it. You don't, but good luck. But we just love it, and so we're moving, and it is going to be a great experience for us. We will be one of the largest bookstores in Chicago at that point, and we just want to meet new people. The street that we're on has a ton of walkability, so let's see if the people like us there.
Yeah, and you talk, anyone who's been to Westtown this stretch, you have bars, you have entertainment.
Entertainment, coffee houses. We have a co-working space right above us, and so all of those people are gonna kind of get to know us, and we're hoping, like everybody else, they like us.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, this space is amazing. Tell us about some of the new features, activities, events you're going to have at the new space.
The new space is going to allow us to do author events. This space, we never do in-person author events because it's so small. We don't want to pack people in. It's COVID still. We don't want to pack people in, but the new space, we are starting out our author events with a bang. We have Will Smith coming in November. He is going to take over the store with his new book that drops in November. And so we want to introduce, we are now in the author events business, you know, and so that's going to be our first event. It's going to be great. It's going to be so good. But our children's room is growing, and we'll have a children's library that they can actually check out books in the Semicolon
Wonderful.
space, so that we'll just take books that, you know, if they get slightly damaged or anything like that, we usually give away a lot of those books. We're going to have our free little library outside of the space for anybody who loves bookstores, loves books, but can't afford them, because we know that books are still considered a luxury item. And so it creates a barrier to entry for people who want to read but can't afford to. And if you have to choose between a book and food, a smart person would choose food. And so we're just trying to bridge that gap however we can.
How fantastic. You also mentioned, you definitely piqued my interest when you mentioned some literary themed drinks.
We are introducing the Semicolon Café, and so we're going to have the Praise the Lord, the Audre Lorde. It is a caramel macchiato, and that's what people typically say when they drink those. And so, but we're introducing the literary themed drinks and a Semicolon cookie. Y'all, this cookie. We tried this cookie. My baker friend, she made this cookie. It is brown butter, it is milk chocolate, it is walnuts, and it is oatmeal, and it's served warm, and it is heavenly. And so we are introducing a couple of pastries, some scones and stuff, but the Semicolon cookie is the thing.
That sounds
yeah,
amazing.
It's good.
So you're going to have more space, more events, more, now music. Tell the folks, if you haven't been to Semicolon before, tell about the music situation.
If you haven't been to Semicolon, you should know that we just play what we want. It depends on how we feel. If we're feeling Ariana Grande, well, that's what we're playing all day, and we'll switch between her and Beyonce and those kind of vibes. But in the new space we're going to have our record system hooked up to our Sonos. So people come in, they choose a record, they put it on, and the entire store can enjoy and feel those vibes. And I love that. I love that the entire mood of the store can change with one bad song. And I want to see that happen. I want to see the looks on people's faces when somebody puts on some ridiculous old country song, or one of those songs that you just don't want to hear, like Pharrell's Happy. Nobody wants to hear that song ever. It never makes you happy anymore.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
When somebody plays it in the store, I just want to see everybody go, I love that.
I was going to ask you what qualifies as a bad song, and you went there. You just did it.
Yeah,
I love it.
That song is a bad song. It's a bad song. But people, it makes you happy because you laugh at it, which I guess is doing the thing.
Right. You're feeling, it's so good to feel.
It's so good to feel, but you know, it's the #1 song on people's wedding do not playlist now.
Really?
Yeah, it's
What?
crazy.
What?
They did a survey. It's the #1 song on the do not playlist. I'm
my
sure he
God.
didn't intend that, but look what happens when you overplay a song.
Right. You do, into the ground.
Into the
basically.
I mean.
Friends, at the end of each of our explorations together, I always like to offer a little haiku informed by some of what we've seen, learned, and heard together. Doors are now open. You'll find connection browsing. Please linger a while.